Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm"? It's a powerful reminder about the importance of balancing kindness with self-care. Yet, in today's fast-paced world, many people have twisted the concept of kindness into a self-destructive habit. We're often told to go above and beyond for others, to push our limits in the name of goodness. But at what cost? The truth is, too much kindness, when it drains your energy, resources, and well-being, isn't a virtue. It's a recipe for burnout. Many people, with the best of intentions, end up giving so much of themselves that they feel empty, unappreciated, and emotionally exhausted. This is a modern-day tragedy. The idea that giving everything to others will bring fulfillment, when, in reality, it often leads to the opposite. Psychology offers us a different perspective, a healthier way to be generous without losing ourselves. It teaches us the importance of setting healthy boundaries, ensuring that our kindness doesn't deplete us, but instead strengthens our relationships and our own mental health. In this video, we'll explore how understanding psychological principles can help you give without losing yourself, love without sacrificing your own happiness, and be there for others without disappearing in the process. Stay with us as we delve into the fine line between generosity and self-preservation, guided by psychological insights into human behavior. 1. Don't set yourself on fire to warm others. Too much kindness can become a trap, a psychological pattern where the desire to help others leads to self-sacrifice and burnout. Imagine yourself as someone who constantly rushes to help others, never saying no, giving out pieces of yourself until there's nothing left. You become the person who's always there for others, but when you need support, you find yourself standing alone. It's not just about being kind to others, it's about being kind to yourself too. Research in psychology shows that people who overextend themselves in helping others without considering their own needs are at greater risk of burnout and emotional exhaustion. According to Dr. Christina Maslach, a leading researcher on burnout, this constant self-sacrifice leads to emotional depletion, where you feel mentally and physically drained from giving too much. When you don't prioritize your own well-being, it becomes difficult to continue supporting others in a healthy way. Consider the example of two neighboring gardeners, one who carefully nurtures their own garden, and another who, despite having their own plot, spends all their time tending to others' gardens. The diligent gardener, understanding the importance of self-care, balances their resources and attention, resulting in a flourishing, vibrant garden. Not only does this gardener enjoy the fruits of their labor, but they also have enough to share with others. On the other hand, the gardener who neglects their own plot, constantly tending to others, finds their garden wilting and underdeveloped. In their efforts to be helpful, they've overlooked their own needs, leaving themselves and their metaphorical garden depleted. This serves as a reminder to reflect before rushing to help others. Ask yourself, is this help sustainable? Am I taking care of my own well-being? Psychology teaches us the importance of setting boundaries. Dr. Brené Brown, a researcher on vulnerability and self-worth, emphasizes that setting boundaries is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and self-respect. By practicing self-compassion and ensuring that our kindness doesn't come at the expense of our mental health, we can give more effectively and sustainably. After all, as the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. In psychology, the goal is to maintain a balance between caring for others and caring for yourself. By nurturing your own well-being, you can show up for others in a way that doesn't deplete you, ensuring a healthier, more fulfilling life for both you and those you wish to help. 2. The trap of validation. We all like to feel valued and appreciated, right? It's only natural. But when being nice turns into a habit of constantly seeking validation from others, it can become a mental trap. Psychology tells us that seeking validation for our self-worth especially from others, can make us feel more anxious, insecure, and dependent on external approval. In fact, studies show that individuals who prioritize others' approval over their own needs often struggle with low self-esteem and burnout. When we say yes to every request, every favor, and every demand, we're handing over our peace to everyone else. Ironically, while we try to make others happy, we end up depleting our own happiness. Here's a question to consider. Have you ever helped someone simply because you wanted their approval and then felt empty afterward? To break free from the validation trap, try to focus on your intrinsic values instead of others' expectations. Next time you're about to say yes to something, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it aligns with my values or because I want their approval? This small mental check can help you make choices that protect your peace of mind while still allowing you to be compassionate. So, if the need for validation is one way that being too nice takes a toll, what else might be lurking beneath the surface? Let's look at a surprising hidden consequence of overgiving that few people talk about. 3. The burden of unrealistic expectations. One of the biggest pitfalls of being too nice is setting unrealistic expectations for yourself and others. You may think, if I'm always there for them, they'll be there for me too. But here's the reality. Not everyone operates with the same sense of reciprocity. Psychologists call this the reciprocity trap, where we expect others to match our level of kindness and care. When that doesn't happen, we feel disappointed, resentful, or even used. This emotional roller coaster isn't just exhausting, it's harmful to our mental peace. Imagine it like this. Constantly expecting others to match your level of effort is like running a marathon with the hope someone will take the baton halfway, only to realize you're alone at the finish line. The solution here lies in releasing unrealistic expectations. Offer kindness because it aligns with who you are, not as a transaction. Psychology suggests adopting an internal locus of control, meaning that you focus on actions you can control, like your own kindness, and release control over others' responses. This mindset shift can feel freeing, like taking a weight off your shoulders. By being kind without attaching strings, you'll protect your peace and become resilient against disappointment. All right, we've tackled the validation trap and the burden of unrealistic expectations. But you might be thinking, can being too nice really get any more complicated? Well, buckle up because it can. 4. Neglecting personal boundaries. The final reason why being too nice can erode your mental peace is the subtle yet dangerous neglect of personal boundaries. Boundaries are like the invisible fence that separates your needs from others. But when we're overly nice, we tend to blur those lines, sacrificing our own time, energy, and emotional well-being. Ever felt drained because you spent an entire day helping others, only to realize you had no time left for yourself? Psychology emphasizes the importance of boundaries for mental well-being. Without them, we risk something called compassion fatigue, where we feel mentally exhausted from giving too much. Over time, constantly sacrificing your needs for others can lead to resentment, stress, and even burnout. The solution: build healthy boundaries and learn to say no when you need to. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-respecting. Start by setting small, manageable boundaries, like blocking out time for self-care or simply saying, "I need a moment for myself." Practice this in everyday situations to strengthen your boundaries gradually. So, what's the takeaway here? Letting go of the need for constant validation, setting realistic expectations, and maintaining boundaries can empower you to stay kind without sacrificing your own peace. If you're curious about powerful techniques for building a balanced and fulfilling life, Check out my next video on 6 Japanese techniques that will change your life. These ancient practices can truly reshape your mindset and elevate your daily experiences. Click here to watch it now. And remember, kindness is your strength, but protecting your mental peace is just as essential.